everyone. It's been a very good night on board Hugo Boss. We decided to take a different option from the other boats, and we sailed in between the mainland of Africa and Fuerteventura and Lanzarote, whereas everybody else seems to be going the other side of Lanzarote, between Lanzarote and Gran Canaria. We seem to have had a bit better breeze, but we're a bit further east than everybody else, so currently trying to get a bit further to the west just to cover them a little bit. Got the spinnaker up. It's a bright sunny day. We've got 20 knots of wind. We're doing about 15, 16, 17 knots. Conditions now, we have to drive, so basically between now and the doldrums there'll probably be one of us always sat in the seat here. So I'm in the seat here holding on to the tiller. You see the wake behind us, and you go all the way around. You might be able to see what I could see out through the windscreen. Funny calling the windscreen, but that's almost what it is, a bubble windscreen. So we can see forwards. It's got great visibility. Only problem is often it feels like we're sat inside a greenhouse, but I'm not one to complain. Anyway, all's going well. We're both very happy. Pepe's getting a little bit of sleep right now, preparing for the next drive, which will probably be in about an hour's time. And that's it. Cheers for now. Bye.
This morning's leaderboard then for the Barcelona World Race, and Hugo Boss have extended to 25 miles ahead of Neutrogena in second, gaining about 3 miles over the course of the morning. Gaia Centros Auditivos in third at 30 nautical miles ahead, staying much the same, going nice and quickly at 17-18 knots. Chemney Pujola in fourth, presently 35 miles behind the lead, so 5 miles behind Gaius. Areno Captur 103 miles, pretty static all in all in terms of the distance to the leader. One Planet, One Ocean going quite well, 216 miles behind the leader. We Are Water in seventh, going to the west of the Canaries, 388 miles behind the leaders. And Spirit of Hungary in eighth, making 8 knots. This morning's leaderboard then for the Barcelona World Race, and Hugo Boss have extended to 25 miles ahead of Neutrogena in second, gaining about 3 miles over the course of the morning. Gaia Centros Auditivos in third at 30 nautical miles ahead, staying much the same, going nice and quickly at 17-18 knots. Chemney Pujola in fourth, presently 35 miles behind the lead, so 5 miles behind Gaius. Areno Captur 103 miles, pretty static all in all in terms of the distance to the leader. One Planet, One Ocean going quite well, 216 miles behind the leader, making 14 knots just now. We Are Water in seventh, going to the west of the Canaries, 388 miles behind the leaders. And Spirit of Hungary in eighth, making 8 knots.
Good morning to everybody. 7 days of race for the Barcelona World Race. We have still a high pressure on Azores Islands, so very good place of the high pressure to give developing a very good trade wind. So we have 25 knots in the island. And the next slide, we can see what's happened last night. If you can pass the next slide, we can see. Tu peux passer la. Wait, yes. We can see advantage for Hugo Boss. I just do jibing to be close again for the other leaders of the race. So Hugo Boss, in the way of Hugo Boss, we have Neutrogena, 20 miles behind, and more west Gaes, at the center Chemney Pujola. That's the leader one, and we can see for Capture it's still along African coast in good wind, 25 knots wind. One Planet, One Ocean do the same. What we can see, it's a big difference and a strategy position for We Are Water. They try to go west of the island. And it's good because in the future, the trade wind will be complete west of the island. So it can be a good strategy to him to see for the next equator. Spirit of Hungary is still in a good way now with north 10 knots wind north, so the speed is better increasing, so he has a speed better than 7 knots now, and it's a good thing for him. He could come back in the game again.
You are sailing through the islands. This is the right decision?
Well, our first idea was to go outside of the islands for the west, but it wasn't possible because it was less pressure over there. So finally we decided to go into the middle, and I think it was also a good tactical decision. Everybody more or less went the same place, so I think it's good.
All right, We Are Water is going west to the Canaries. Are you worried about that?
No, we are not worried about We Are Water. We know that slowly he will go to catch us. Bruno and Willie are sailing well, and going west is a good tactical decision also. So slowly they will probably catch us. They have a more performance boat, so it's normal that they catch us.
So One Planet, One Ocean, Farmaton, that's Alish Gelabert and Didac Costa, the Spanish pair, amateurs on the boat which was built originally as Kingfisher. Still going very well down through the Canaries last night between Lanzarote, Fuerteventura and Gran Canaria, following much the same course as Renault Captur in front of them. Renault Captur about 120 miles ahead. But really you have to say that the honeymoon will progressively be over for the Spanish pair on One Planet, One Ocean. They've sailed extremely well now in the lighter breezes, but now into the trade winds. That's when the differences will start to really show between the performance of their older boat, the oldest boat in the fleet, and the likes of We Are Water, who are chasing them 140 miles behind. We Are Water still going quite nicely, working out to the west, and they will progressively jibe and come down the west of the Canaries. And once everyone lines up on the same track down towards the equator, then we'll start to see these speed differences take effect, and we can expect We Are Water to catch up progressively on One Planet, One Ocean, perhaps round about the equator. Meantime, Alex spoke this morning and said one of the first decisions has been to go outside the islands, going west. That was what they were thinking of doing, but it turned out to be impossible because there was less wind over to the west. So finally decided to go through the middle. They're not worried at all about We Are Water, really. We know that she's going to catch us. Bruni and Willie are sailing well, and going west is a good tactical decision for them, so they will probably catch us. They have a more performing boat, and it's normal that they will catch up.
But by the time we had to make it, the winds were in favour of taking. So I think the difference in routing between at Chile and between the islands was about 40 minutes. Great, but there seemed to be some gain, and I think we must Chamonix, Poudre and Neutrogena. I expected the three of us to be very. I think Gaius has done a fantastic job, and they've obviously massively upped the game since the Barcelona race. So they're definitely contenders now. But no, I'm not surprised by how close they were. And we hope to have a routine, but generally we just nap whenever we can. I don't think anybody's had more than a couple of hours sleep. We're very conscious of trying to keep a man fresh. It's so important not to make in these kind of conditions. Finally, really, we broke a rudder reference unit, so that's the unit that tells the autopilot how much rudder is on. So it's a pretty critical. It's a tiny little thing. One of our shirts here. Hang on a second. Put the pilot. Oh, careful. Just So there's the goes on top, and it's so it broke, and that broke during the when we got the net round the keel through the Straits of Gibraltar. So just to carry us there, so the is on, and so too much of a problem, but we need to make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah, it's looking very fast, the equation, and more wind. I mean, the winds are quite outstanding at the moment. We're having 25 gusting 30. Maybe we have gusts of 32, 33. That all makes for nice fast sailing. The waves are quite big. Actually going to be to this tiller position until we start approaching them and we get less wind. So it's gone very late, but after a phase, you look forward to being able to put the pilot on. Pepe plays day bags, so he's decided he's going to eat every day, and it's a bag. And he put that day one, and he eats it. I have to work out what I eat over the whole period, and then I decide what I'm going to eat, and I'm going to eat it. I'm a bit of a fussy eater, so if I put a beef and potato casserole, or if it's a day one bag, if I didn't fancy it, then I'd be digging into day two bag to find the stew or something like that. So very different. We've both got an amount of Iberica hamon, which I'm really addicted to.
So, story of the day, really, Hugo Boss consolidating over the course of last night. They jibed back from their position in the east of the pack. They were quite close to the African coast, running out of breeze just a little bit. So they consolidated, they cut back towards the fleet, a little bit higher in terms of angle back towards the fleet than they expected. The lead was cut to 11 miles on the early morning ranking, but it's up to over 20 over the course of the first schedules. They really didn't want to pin themselves out to the west. The trade winds there were a little bit quieter. Meantime, Chamonix Pugilat, Gaius Centris Auditivus and Hugo Boss came in through the islands, and Gaius Centris Auditivus losing out just a little bit to Neutrogena, which has been slightly quicker. Alex Thompson and Pepe Ribas then on excellent form, really now in a position where they can start to let the boat do the work, as Alex spoke about before the start. They have the more powerful boat. They're into 30 knots of breeze at times. Solid trade winds, and this breeze will increase later on in the day. 32, 33 knots anticipated in the gusts. Quite big waves and really good fast sailing conditions. Gaius Centris Auditivus certainly going very well, showing the benefits of their 2 years of training together, and really have upped their game. And also Neutrogena going well, nice and quick on the morning rankings, and certainly keeping the pressure on Hugo Boss, although I say they should start to extend over the course of the day. And a nice fast passage all the way down to the doldrums anticipated with good trade winds.
Me he levantado un poco pronto para ver el parte meteorológico y me he tomado la última ducha y nada, y ya preparado para la salida.
We washed the boat early in the morning, and the fresh water just frozen. There's some ice on the deck. I hope a little bit later, because of the sunshine, will melt.
T'ha d'enganyar una mica la ment, no? I dir-li, escolta, que vas a navegar a Barcelona, que això ho has fet altres cops, no? Per intentar baixar la tensió.
No specific values, just going into waves easily, going into phase with with the boat, with myself, with my co-skipper, and then doing a good race and doing good performance.
To be at the front of the pack and not to lose too much is important. I mean, we feel fortunate we've got a boat that can probably catch everybody up if we need to catch everybody up, but we don't want to be in that position really.
Il faudra essayer de bien trouver le vent parce qu'il y a des écarts importants qui peuvent se créer, donc c'est important, quoi.
El parte ara està en mans del Gerard, que està estudiant les últimes coses. Jo vaig a descarregar 4 coses que faltaven i està a ganes de deixar anar les amarres.
Yeah, it's quite exciting, but also we're all quite sad to see him go. Yeah, we're going to miss him.